right, welcome to another episode of Thrive. I am really excited to talk about quiz marketing for agency clients with none other than Josh Haynam, the CEO of Interact Quiz Builder. Josh, how you doing today?
I'm doing well. Thanks for having me.
I'm really excited to have you actually. Josh actually just guest authored a really great piece on increasing your email list and growing your email list with quiz marketing for my blog. So I'm going to put a link to the show note, a link to that blog post in the show notes for sure. And that'll give a lot of context to the conversation we're about to have. But for those of you who are listening and watching, I think you're going to get a ton of really great information out of this. Quiz marketing is not something that we've talked about before. So if you want to just kind of launch into, just talk a little bit about quiz marketing from the standpoint of getting everybody on the same level.
Yeah, definitely. So quiz marketing as a practice is basically taking the quizzes that you see all over social media anyways, and parlaying those into a marketing tool for a brand. So for example, one of the popular quizzes that's always floating around is like, what kind of coffee are you, or what kind of coffee drink are you? If you're selling coffee beans, you can do that same quiz, connect it up to your email list, and then also recommend specific types of coffee in the quiz results. And all of a sudden, that just fun, frivolous quiz becomes a really powerful marketing tool because people love finding out their results. And now you're using that as a way to build up your email list, segment your email list, and also recommend personalized product recommendations. So that is kind of the way you take this trend that's happening on social media and you turn it into something that really drives business growth.
And what is the thing, like from a psychological standpoint, that why do people actually want to fill these quizzes out? I mean, I know I kind of tend toward liking to fill out forms and stuff like that, but I just thought I was kind of a geek about it. Why do people love to do it?
Yeah, I mean, you're definitely not a geek about it because I've been doing this for 6 years now, and every single day I talk to somebody who's like, oh, I didn't know that anybody else liked those things, but I love them. It's like, nope, everybody loves them. There's literally no bounds to who likes taking these quizzes. So it's a very general thing. And the reason why, there's actually two main reasons why. The first one is that we just like to talk about ourselves. And a quiz gives you that opportunity. It's really different than any other sort of marketing that's out there, like blog posts or podcasts even, where you're consuming content. You're not actually active. You're not participating. You're not talking about yourself. And when we talk about ourselves, we actually get a little high. Like we love it. Like we love talking about ourselves. And Time Magazine did this study. They found that 40% of the words we say in our lives are about ourselves. So it's really a huge kind of natural psychological thing that we like to express ourselves. And a quiz lets you do that naturally because it's asking you questions. Right. So that's the biggest reason. The second biggest reason is that you like to find out about yourself. The entire self-help industry is based around self-awareness and figuring out more about who you are, because if you really know who you are, then you can improve, right? So that's another aspect of it. And even though it might seem dumb sometimes to figure out which Disney princess you are, there's still something.
You love that quiz, don't you?
Yeah, it's everywhere. Like we've been working with Disney for a while, and it's just like, oh my gosh, those quizzes go so popular. But yeah, I mean, even if it's something as silly as that, there's still something to it. Right. And you're for sure going to bring it up the next time you're at like a dinner party and everybody's just kind of chit-chatting it up, or you're looking for an interesting topic to discuss. You're going to bring up your quiz. So we really do like finding out about ourselves.
Right. Yeah, it's really interesting. So we do have to address sort of this elephant in the room, right? So the recent scandal with Facebook and Cambridge Analytica, and this quiz that was on there, and it was sort of like this portal that leaked all this information or gathered this information illegally. How are the quizzes that your company is helping people produce? How is that different from the quizzes that we saw on Facebook and that were part of that whole scandal?
Yeah, so the New York Times just did an amazing video on this, and hopefully we can link it in the show notes as well. Basically, what happened with that quiz and with Cambridge Analytica was that the quiz was bait. And when you took the quiz, you had to log in with Facebook in order to access it. And then they didn't actually care about what you answered on the quiz, because as soon as you logged in with Facebook, they got access to everything that you had ever liked. And this is a crazy loophole that Facebook has fixed now, but they also got access to everything that all of your friends had liked. So they used this quiz app, because quizzes are naturally popular. They used it as a way to entice people to log in with Facebook. It had nothing to do with the actual quiz. And we recommend never logging into any sort of quiz with Facebook. I don't think that's even allowed anymore. I don't think you can ask people to log in order to take a quiz. So I think that's something that Facebook has changed at this point. But Interact has never had that functionality. We've never had any sort of social login, whether it's from Facebook or Google or any other sort of platform. The only way that an Interact quiz collects your information is if you physically type it in. And we just added an option now where you have to physically type it in and also check a checkbox if the company has chosen to enable that. So if you're putting your information into an Interact quiz, you have done it completely voluntarily. You've completely consented to giving your information to the company that's asking for it. So that's another important aspect, is that
we're
only that company. So we're just a medium. We're a portal. We never see what's passing between you and the company that's creating content on our platform. We are simply the medium that it's passing through. So we don't have access to it. Nobody has access to it except the company that's collecting it. So it's fundamentally different, and they're kind of putting the quiz out there as the scapegoat, Facebook is, but it actually has nothing to do with the quiz.
Got it. Well, I had to get that out there because I really, the main point of the show is to really have agency leaders understand how they can take quiz marketing, if they're doing digital marketing or social media marketing or anything like that, and really add it to the mix so that they can better serve their clients from a lead generation perspective, right? So that was our whole focus with the show. So under that, guys, what are the conversion rates that you've seen when organizations like digital agencies or social media or any other type of agencies that are in that creative or digital space, when they're doing this on behalf of their clients, what kind of conversion rates are you seeing?
Yeah, so there's a couple of key numbers that we have. So the first one is that half of the people who start taking a quiz, so they click the button to start answering the questions, half of them will opt in if you have opt-in enabled on your quiz. So 50% conversion rate on that. 90% of people will finish a quiz. So let's say you don't have opt-in on your quiz, you're just having people take it to show them product recommendations. 90% of the ones who start it will finish it, which is pretty crazy because it's about 2 minutes on a quiz and you're getting 90% of people to spend 2 minutes engaging with your content. That's a lot. That's significant. So those are really the two big numbers, is 50% conversion rate on emails. 90% of people will finish quizzes if they start taking them.
And so talk about quiz marketing from the perspective of how it fits in to this whole digital marketing ecosystem. I mean, everything is digital marketing, right? Like, we can't have a creative agency nowadays that's not engaged in some way, shape, or form with digital. But how does quiz marketing in particular fit into that ecosystem?
Yeah, so I can speak to this pretty well because Interact actually spun out of an agency, a very small one, albeit it was just me and my co-founder that were the agency. But we were doing web design, digital marketing, SEO, email list building, all that kind of stuff for clients. And the quiz came as a request from one of our clients because they were trying to collect emails. So we built it. Back then it was in custom code. It took forever. But we put it on his website and it converted way better than anything else we had ever done for him in terms of building up the email list. And as I'm sure you're well aware of, as agencies, everybody's all about that list, right? It's like the modern day Rolodex. It's like the more people I can have on my list, the more people I can sell to. And a quiz is simply a tool, a medium to go out onto social media and convert people from followers into subscribers, to be on your website, to convert visitors into subscribers. And the appeal of a quiz that says something like, what kind of coffee drink are you? Or what's your style? Or what type of marketer are you? Is so much bigger than download our free guide or check out our checklist. Like, who really reads those? It's overdone at this point. It takes forever to put one of those together. So you offering a quiz tool to a client as an agency just puts you ahead of the pack.
Right. And it's also more of a pre-qualification tool, because if you're talking about what kind of coffee drinker are you and you're trying to sell them coffee beans in your example, you have a really good sense of what they're interested in. So you can then put content or put product or something in front of them that's extremely relevant. So just from the sales perspective, I mean, pre-qualifying in an engaging way, that's gold.
Yeah, exactly. So it can weed out people you don't want. It can get people interested if they are the right fit. It can do all of these things that take you from just a generic website. It's almost like the Amazoning of your site, right? Like they've spent billions of dollars making this crazy personalization engine, but you can achieve some part of that by simply plugging in a quiz that asks people for what they are really interested in.
Right. And so if an agency wanted to get started and just try this out on a client or two, what would you suggest as like best practices to go about creating the quiz, where they should actually put it? Is it on their site? Is it on social? Like, just talk a little bit about that from the standpoint of getting started.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. So we've taken out the creation aspect for the most part by creating a bunch of templates that are all following the best practices, and we track internal statistics on all of the quizzes. So we're actually creating these templates based on what's converting the best. Okay. So you can just select your industry, like let's say you're going into beauty. You can select beauty quizzes and then find one that you like that fits the client well, then connect it up to their email list so it starts collecting leads for them. And then there's three main ways to promote it. You can either set it up on their website as an announcement bar or on their website as a pop-up. Or the third option is to put it out onto Facebook as an ad or an organic post that you then boost. So those are really the top three ways. And then no matter how you're promoting it, you want to embed it onto that client's website, either on a landing page or a blog post, so you can send all the traffic through to their domain.
Okay, very cool. And any other advice that you would give to agencies that are just implementing this for the first time?
The type of quiz that works the best is the which type of blank are you or the what type of blank are you quiz. So again, like the coffee example, what type of coffee drink are you? If you're just trying this out for the first time with clients, always start with something that fits that format to go with from the jump, because they'll convert the best, they'll get the most traffic, you're going to get good results for your client up front. And then later on, you can make something that's more complicated and maybe core to their business. But you always want to start off with something that has that title, but is also relevant to their industry. So that's where the templates are helpful, because you can make sure you stay on brand.
Very cool. And you can also, I'm assuming, create custom quizzes. You don't have to just go with those templates, right?
Oh, certainly. Yeah, you can get super custom. We have a branching conditional logic engine. So you can have like the craziest map of a quiz, but it's always easiest just to start with a template and see the results. You can share the analytics with them and kind of have a screen grab of how well it's doing. And then from there, once the client's ready to invest further, that's where you can really go crazy with it.
And from a creative standpoint, because all my creatives that are watching are like, I'm not using templates, I'm not choosing from 3 color options, I want to customize everything. Those abilities exist as well.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, you can, type in hex codes wherever you want and change every color, every option all over the quiz.
And the reporting functionality would be my last question. Is that something that they can easily export on the agency side and hand that over to the client, or is there some other, step that they have to take to get that out?
Yeah, very easy to export. We just rebuilt our analytics engine, so it's by date range, and you have a very nice funnel graph that goes from views to leads, and you can just export all the results breakdowns, the question breakdowns, all this amazing audience insights that you can get right out of the quiz.
That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for making it easy for agencies to, really add this to their marketing mix and make their clients happier. And I just appreciate your time for coming on today, Josh.